Good morning, dear students. So for this week, we'll be discussing the chapter on statistics. Statistics. So what is the meaning of statistics? It's basically collection of data, collection of data. It's organization. That means if we collect a data, we should be able to organize it in a proper manner. We can't simply keep it the way we want. It has to be organized properly. And it's summarization. It's summarization. That means we collected a data, we should be able to summarize something from it. Okay. So the main use of data, the main use of statistics is basically to infer something from the data. So what I want to say, I'll write again, come to an inference. Yes. So what I want to say by writing come to an inference is very simple. So if I collected the data from the class, something like if I say someone is scoring 30, someone is scoring 40, someone is scoring 50, and someone is scoring 60, 70, and so on. So using this data, can I calculate the average? Yes. So average is also a part of statistics. So if I found out the average of the class is above 50, then I can say that the class is doing well. So this is how we come to an inference. Inference means conclusion. So statistics is basically very helpful in coming to a conclusion about something from the data. So I hope this is clear. So before going on to solving some problems with statistics, in this video I'll be trying to focus on some of the terminologies regarding statistics. So let us start. So the first thing that we should know about is something called as primary data. Primary data. So what is primary data is actually, suppose if I go to a market and I simply collect the data directly, then that data is called primary data. So that means collected directly. I repeat, collected directly. One more example I would like to give you is, suppose I come to your class and started asking your marks in certain subjects, then that data which I'm collecting can be categorized as primary data. So let us look at one more kind of data, that is called your secondary data. Secondary data. So what is secondary data is very simple. Secondary data is nothing but the data which is already there. Something I can write this one as was already there. Something like if I go to the office of our school and then just I started taking out marks from that and trying to take out the average of the marks, then that I cannot say it's primary data because it was already stored there and I'm just taking the data from that office. So in that case, I can say that the data that I have collected is secondary data. So I hope this is clear. So one more kind of data is raw data. Girls, I know all of you would have done this chapter on statistics earlier also, but please take into consideration this kind of terminologies also. Anyways, problems are very easy, but let us try to understand each and everything. We can go at a slow pace. So what is raw data? Raw data means something like unsorted data. Suppose if I have got three, let me just write it, 3, 4, 2, 5. So I can say that this is unsorted data, right? Because it's not in order. But if I can write this one as 2, let me just write it properly, 2, 3, 4, 5. So excuse me for that. So can I say this data is sorted? Because in this case, I'm being able to write 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. So these are the kind of data that we have in statistics: primary data, secondary data, and raw data. So after this, one more thing we have is something called as variable. So variable is something like, suppose if I took into consideration the marks from your class, then I can say that marks is nothing but the variable. Yes, in that case, what kind of values that variable will have? Exactly, it will be something like 10, 20 or 30, right? It will not be something like from 10 to 20. Yes. So this kind of data are called, this kind of variables is called discrete variable. I repeat, it's called discrete variable. It's called discrete variable because these are taking discrete values. On the other hand, if I say something like, if I want to describe the height of a person, okay, so you might be saying that no sir, I have a perfect height at something like 5 feet, something like that. But no, it's not a perfect value, right? Something like you should be having something like 4 feet to 5 feet in between that, because we know that a height is never constant, it's growing. Yes, so I can say that your height lies between 4 to 5 feet, something like that we can say. Yes, so I'll be very happy if you can supplement this variables with some more examples. Yes, so I'll just try to put it into airplane mode, sorry for that. So this will be 5 feet and this will be 4 to 5 feet. So this kind of variables are called, let me just write it properly, these are called continuous variable. I repeat, it will be called continuous variable, CONTINOUS, continuous variable. Okay, so what did we learn today? We learned what is statistics, what is primary data, what is secondary data, what is raw data, what are variables, what are continuous variables, what are discrete variable. Yes, so after this, one more concept let us learn, that is range. So what is range? Range is nothing but the difference between maximum and minimum value of a variable. So I'll write difference between maximum and minimum value. Something like, let us write, I'll just supplement with one example. So if I got the marks in your class as the highest was 99 and the lowest was, let it be 60. So the difference between this, so if we say 33, so 33 will turn out to be, so 33 in this case will turn out to be your range. Yes, so range has become 33 for you. So this is how we define range in statistics. After this we have something called as variate. And girls, all these questions will not come for your exams, and let us not try to study anything for exam. Let us try to study for our knowledge, for our better understanding of the subject. If you understand the subject properly, marks will automatically be yours. I can assure you of that. Yes, so we have learned what is range. So after this, so let us try to understand what is variate. What is variate? So what is variate is very simple. Variate is nothing but a particular value of a variable. Suppose in a class I got the marks as different things, something like, let me just take a different color, something like 60, 70, 80 and 90 and so on. All the 60, 70, 80 and 90 are nothing but the variates of the variable marks. So I hope this is clear. This is what we call as variate. So after this, one more term I would like it to introduce to you. I think all of you are familiar with it. That is something called as frequency. So frequency means how many times a certain number, a certain value is occurring. Something like, if I come to your class and I found that most of the people are having marks something like 60, 60, 60, three people of your class got 60, then I can say that frequency of 60 is 3. So that means how many times did this value occur. So this is what we call as frequency. So one more thing, so that would be the last topic that last term that I would like to introduce to you, that is frequency distribution. Frequency distribution is nothing but a kind of a table which we get from the frequency and the data provided to us by the questions or by the situations. So that's only your frequency distribution. So with this, I finish this video over here, and I will be discussing about frequency distribution in the next video. So for this video, I take your leave. So I hope you have understood, and feel free to ask any doubts if you have. Thank you.